Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, The Shadow and the Blade, where we are going to, undertake a battle here that is not going to be hugely successful for us, but we got to try to wear down some of this siege gear just to make it easier for us when we do eventually take on this army. I don't really want to fight 2 organ guns and 2 flame cannons, not if we can avoid it. Aside from that, I think this army's quite unimpressive. These are just dwarven warriors. These are the low-tier dwarf infantry, and if you look at their stats, it's actually still fairly impressive. Dwarves are really good melee fighters. But, this army's, very, very weak, I think, if we can get rid of the siege stuff. It'll be so easy for Remamute to handle this. So, we're not going to get it all, but we can probably get some of it. So y'all have seen this battle plan before, and it keeps basically working, so I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to put even less effort into it than I usually do. We should put these guys out at their corners. Alright, you guys over here, you guys over there. And so what are we looking at? Positioning wise, there's an organ gun here. They split them up, which is smart. Organ gun here. What is that? That's the flame cannon. So flame cannon has an unusual icon that is not the normal artillery icon. So where's the other flame cannon then? Okay, it's over here. So they're not as split up as I thought. Giant slayers and dwarf warriors. Okay, I think we can get this done. Alright, you guys out to here and just take a nice circuitous path. Basically, we're just wasting the enemy's time. Oh, wait, that's not what I wanted. Go to there and then do this. Okay, just drawing them off. Waiting until our summons are available. So, the Clanstone's not going to do anything here. I really don't want to use a Doom Rocket. I don't think this is worth Doom Rocketing. It kind of looks like... I wonder if they're able to see us? We're not hidden. I think they should be able to see us. I'm just saying, it kind of looks like a lot of their units are, stopping, milling around, and they attacked me. So they do have to come to us in order to win the battle. I'm going to have a unit of Clan Rat Spears run up just to try to get them... Oh, okay, never mind. Never mind, they see you. Go ahead and go back. I don't know what was taking them so long, but they figured it out. Just keep an eye on them, look for the opening. They can definitely see these guys. They cannot see these ones. These ones are the actual stealthy ones. I'm not super jazzed about the way that they're advancing through so much tree cover over here, though, because that is going to interfere with our projectiles, and these units are not good enough at melee for me to want them to rush forward into melee, necessarily. We're just going to wait until we've got them separated a little bit before we spawn the first group of clan rats. Not really sure what these guys are doing. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Sweetly obey.
You guys could go and have at them. I'm hoping the Globadiers can actually deal some damage here. I think, if we can get the enemy to separate enough. This is looking pretty good. I think we have an opportunity here. Alright, let's go for it. Obviously, they could turn these guys around, and they probably will, but I think we have enough time to start doing some damage. And with these dudes, we don't want to necessarily reveal our position just yet. Okay, we're getting something done. Ooh, wait. Don't get too close. Apparently this is not going nearly as smoothly as I thought it was going to. Alright, never mind. They're not gonna get a kill. These guys are not separating as much as I need them to either. This is kind of working, sort of. I mean, we're certainly dealing a lot of damage. We're taking a lot of damage, but we're dealing a lot of damage. I don't know that things are going to get much better over here. Let's just commit. Maybe we could at least draw off some of the melee that are just standing around playing guard. So that we can drop some more summons in there. Drop them in there and have them not get immediately murdered. All we really want to do here is just kill the crews. Go help them. Yeah, see, this one's tougher because they kept their entire melee core back. Because they're actually pretty reasonably taking advantage of their, range this time. My plan is not working. Which just disappoints the hell out of me. Nobody was ever caught saying, I love it when a plan doesn't come together. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to do much in the way of real damage to these guys. I don't think that we necessarily need to put on skirmish mode just yet. Like, I obviously don't want these guys in melee with the enemies, but also the enemies aren't even trying to enter melee with us. Okay, now we should move. Come on, you know you want to chase them. You know you want to chase them far away. So we broke the flame cannon crew. It's hard to tell if we've done enough damage to them for them to be removed from the army, sadly. There's no obvious, like, threshold. We have seen units that only have one figure left in them come back post-battle. And we've seen units that are a lot healthier than this actually disappear from the army, so just keep an eye on it. Here's what you can do. You can go try to kill that last guy. I'm pretty sure if you reduce him to actual 0, they can't come back from that. It looks like the enemies are separating pretty well here. Oh, never mind. We just couldn't see them because we no longer have vision of the area. Oops. Well... And I still don't think this is worth spending a Doom Rocket on. This is such a minor thing. Maybe I'm being too stingy with the Doom Rockets. That's possible. Yeah, 2 summons left, so we'll use... Let's see, you guys are doing a good job of running. I'm going to turn off skirmish mode because they don't follow orders when they're in skirmish mode, even if those orders are perfectly compatible with the idea of skirmishing. They just, like, they get all discombobulated. Alright, we're all about actually eliminating units here, so I'm going to try to finish this job if we can. Wait, did we? I think, yeah, that flag is gone. Okay, cool. Just run away from those guys then. That means that... we gave up before I could summon in the... I was going to try to bring them around to push the flame cannon crew. So it looks like we definitely totally eliminated 2 of the artillery units. And maybe we killed both of their giant slayers? Those units might be dead. That's not bad for the cost of... What was that, like 15 food? 15 food that we were going to lose at the beginning of the turn anyway. Feel pretty alright about that. And only a couple minutes of our actual human lives were spent. We might... Okay, yeah, I was going to say, we might also have actually reduced the number of guns left in that gun group. Okay, they kept 1 of the Slayer units. Yeah, not bad. Just you wait. Unfortunately, Remamute is probably, like, multiple turns of movement away from him because there are rivers between me and there. But it's fine. He's in our buffer zone. The whole reason we took all that stuff over was so that we would have a buffer zone. Unfortunately, there are more dwarves. Who would have thought? Okay, this is good news. Wulfric is here to help push on the Empire. Remember, we don't actually have to own all this territory up here. We just need it to be the case that the Reichlanders don't own it. If Wulfric wants to come in and devour some of it for us, that's awesome. That works really, really well. In fact, if he would just go along the coast and pick up the whole northern coast for us, that would be super helpful. We are allied with him, right? We have a defensive alliance. So I could ask him to do that. I am definitely not making a military alliance with you. A couple of the Chaos armies are looking good and strong. Hopefully they'll be enough of a distraction for our foes. Yeah, the Bretonnians might have to deal with that. That's pretty good. We had a rebellion in Stirland. Well, that's a thing we probably don't actually have to worry about. in the sense that we can just let that rebellion claim whatever settlement they spawned out of, because like, what would be the point of even fighting? Alright, what are we looking at here? A lot of real basic units. So Longbeards are the quote-unquote elite version of the dwarf warrior. Honestly, I don't think the difference between these two units is all that great. You can see there's a pretty significant melee defense bonus. Like, Longbeards take forever to kill in melee combat, but that's not how we would kill them anyway. So I guess we gotta do that. So we gotta kill Kragdringer, and then... Oof, boy, yeah, we got a lot of stuff to do. I wish we had a scout down here. I wish it were more possible for us to keep agents alive. Alright, hold on. We have some things we know we need to do. First of all, Arnau. So we'll make sure Hadar gets to participate in the battle because he needs some XP. But Vomik is going to be the one who destroys it. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just going to sack it. And then we're gonna have Hadar actually claim it. I wasn't really thinking all the way through that, but Vomik is definitely the one that I want to be moving forward. Alright, go and occupy this. Okay. That's pretty cool. We got a scribe for doing absolutely nothing there. Do you have a scribe in your army already? Oh, you totally don't. Well, I would like to... Wait, can scribes follow... Yes, okay, great. 8% campaign movement range is wonderful. So this guy gets to take arms dealer, I guess. Whatever. Whatever gets us to ballistics calibration. Okay, Vomik needs to... I was going to go to Wrecker's Point. If Wulfric's got that under control, then I guess we're headed in the direction of the Black Pit. Black Pit, okay, and Wrecker's Point is in that same... province. That's a little awkward, because it means we won't get to use a commandment to help control public order, but I believe it is what it is, and I don't think we have really a lot of options here. Actually, can we swap over to March Stance? Let's, like, really commit. Wait a minute. Do we have any agents in this area? I'm a little worried about running into the dark. Aha, you are exactly what I needed. Get over here and make sure I'm not walking into a trap, please. Alright, excellent work as always, Obside. It's a shame that just running around and scouting is not worth XP, because it totally should be. And then Ikit Claw and Infectique. Like, how much do we want to turn around? The Black Pit has a 10-unit garrison. Oh, that's right. We have to come back, because there is an actual army over here. Yeah. Okay. Cyrus Meyer gets her gig. Not a big deal. I'm creating this buffer for a reason, so I'm assuming neither one of you can actually reach that settlement. Actually, you know what? Ikit Claw might be able to. It's close. Sometimes you can see, like, the border here is not exactly where the end of your movement is. Sometimes it's a little bit of a poor representation. So, that being the case, if we're looking at Volkmar the Grim having to deal with Vomik and Ikit Claw already, maybe we actually turn Infectique around. Do I think he can take this army?
I cannot.
They're raiding, so they're tired. They have at least some, like, basic spearmen. They do have some very fancy-looking knights with a magical aura. What is this that they have? Wow, that's cool. There's some cool units in the Empire now. I'd feel a lot better if you had a full army. But your army is very good. I bet we can just take this guy, and if we defeat him, then we can probably go into march mode and fall back into her gig, and I bet we'll be fine. Let's do it. Let's crush him. I have no fear. I should maybe have more fear than I do, but I do not have any fear. Come on, ambush. Yeah, that's excellent. We might lose some stuff if we take this auto-resolve, just like looking at that number. We should probably do this manually. Let's go ahead and pour in all of the food that we have, which is not very much. This will be an easy one, but I bet we will significantly outperform the auto-resolver here. In part because the auto-resolver is not going to give our caster his fair due. What with him having Black Whirlwind and all, this should actually be a really, really good situation for the Black Whirlwind. We can get some level ups on some of our dudes, hopefully keep our Storm Vermin alive, but, you know, if they die, they die. This is the fate of melee troops, especially relatively weak melee troops. Not to say that the Storm Vermin are weak in a general sense, but they're definitely weak relative to elite infantry. Okay, 14. Spoiling me. So this looks like a pretty good spot for some Warp Lightning Cannons to me. Yeah, we should be able to show those horses who's boss from here. And obviously the catapults can just like go behind them on this hill. Yep, that works just fine. And we're just gonna hit them from the back, right? I don't really want the Death Runners. Maybe what it is a unit of Storm Vermin on each side. Like, closer to the front, and then Death Runners in closer to the back. We're going to take some losses here. Everybody, everybody be prepared. Skaven blood is going to get spilled on this one. Infectique, they do have an awful lot of spears, so we gotta be a little cautious with Infectique because he is not good at fighting spearmen on this mount. But obviously, a huge percentage of the work here is going to be done by Rattling Gunners. You guys can be further back. Actually, a little further back even than that, probably, right? Yeah, because their range is considerable. And that also leaves the Doombringers. And, yeah, the Warp Flayers and stuff. Doombringers can be, like, here? I don't want them to be unable to shoot. Yeah, that terrain is too uneven. They have to be on this side. I don't want them to be unable to shoot. We definitely want them to be able to shoot melee without getting meleeed. It's pretty important. The caster should just be, I don't know, over here somewhere. These Doomflayers go near the front. They're going to try to keep the melee off balance while we get the initial stuff done here. This is going to be so good for our momentum if we actually manage to pull it off cleanly. I'm basically just going to run into the general area of the enemy ranged troops and do a lot of horrible things to them. Gunners, do that. You help. You guys, I don't know, just kind of shoot. You can figure it out. You'll be fine. Yeah, they're close enough to do their thing. And I think we're going to have to micro these guys a little bit because we don't have a lot of meat in this army at the moment. We have to be a little cautious. Here's a question. Do I think we have the ranged under control enough? Probably. I think probably the Assault of Stone goes on the melee instead. And once we get to 17 Winds of Magic, we are going to use a Black Whirlwind to some effect. Okay, that's working out just fine. Don't let these guys get away, though. You need to move up. You guys need to fall back at this moment. That's working perfectly. Alright, let's just make sure we're keeping an eye on the whole battle here, but I do want to cast this. Right there, I think? That should kill an awful lot of their melee. Yeah, this is good. Alright, I think what we want to do with these guys is run them back sort of past the flamethrowers. And maybe have the flamethrowers... You know, their arc of fire is wide enough. This is fine. This is fine. Infectique has... Okay. The job is done over here. Not a huge surprise, but yeah, that went really quickly. Wow, those demigryphs, you know, gunfire. It turns out bullets. Bullets are how you win a war. We can afford to just move up here. You guys need to continue advancing. I'm going to peel off and see what they do here. Because if they just follow us, we let them. In fact, I might even try to get them to stay in place a little bit here. Because yeah, we have lots of good ranged fire. Sorry, you guys go there. You can... Oh yeah. I'll run over here and scarecrow some dudes, I guess. You can kill their lord, perhaps. You can certainly at least think about killing their lord. Fire some warp stars out here. Okay. So we have two things to do now. We have to make sure that the characters die. Also, this is inconvenient. Stupid Knights of the Everlasting, whatever. You guys just need to separate a little bit. And then you have to move up, probably. How are we on range now? A lot of the enemy forces have backed up enough that... Okay. This catapult should work. That guy, this catapult should work. Probably also guys over here, right? Warp lightning cannon on... For right now, these horses, probably. But eventually the enemy lord. That stuff needs to keep happening, but we do need one unit of death runners to divert to lord weakening duty. Actually, we probably could pull a couple units of death runners up here, because I want to get the one that Infectique is fighting as well. It's really hard to actually target him, because no matter what angle we look at him from, the spearman's shield is jumping in front of him. Okay. This I'm not too worried about. Warpfire throwers are heavily armored and actually, like, they'll hold their own in melee against non-elite melee troops for a moment while we fix that problem. Okay, never mind. Problem solved. And there will be no survivors, of course. As is often the case in our battles. Yeah, this is really, really bad for their westward momentum. And we hardly took any damage there. That is definitely a lot better than the auto-resolver would likely have done in that situation. Also, 177 kills for the caster. Which is pretty impressive considering we only had him do 2 things. Building up some XP. We got Storm Vermin up to rank 4, which is good. For melee troops, increased rank is for our melee troops in particular. A major part of the value of increased rank is increased leadership. They break and run less easily, which obviously is a problem that we have sometimes. Unfortunately, we're probably not going to be able to chase him, right? We're like completely out of movement. But his army is in rough shape. So you are going to grab magical reserves. Yeah, alright. And then we're going to march mode ourselves back into the city for defensive purposes. Speaking of which, let's get that thing developed. Alright, that might mean that we actually don't end up losing a bunch of our buffer zone. Like, I don't want to speak too confidently about our position here, but we might be okay. I see the incoming rebellion, and I think it's fine, and we want it to spawn while Infectique is still kind of nearby, so I'm not going to turn off taxation here. So Ikit can't quite get Weissmund, so actually he should probably back up a step then. If Volkmar the Grim wants to fight me 20 versus 20 in the field, I will fight him, but I should not give him Weissmund's garrison for free.
Master Engineer.
Okay, Bilefitch Stab is... Oh, he's not quite across the border. I was like, why can't he recruit all the units that we know are available in this province? But that's because he's not in this province yet. Okay, so what do we want to grab? Is it just like a couple of... He doesn't have Doomflayers. But to be perfectly honest, looking at this, I'm wondering if it's just 2 more units of Rattling Guns. Make his army very gun-heavy. Like, he certainly doesn't need more catapults. I don't think I want a Warp Lightning Cannon. As much as I like Warp Lightning Cannons, I just don't think I want to make his army any more siege-geary. Yeah, just spend 2 turns grabbing 2 more gun units. We'll get rolling.
All hail Honedrat.
Where are all of my agents? We don't have any agents alive down here, right? Yeah. Chiriflesh was slain. Tragically. Okay, so there are more dwarf agents over here, but no more dwarf armies. So I think Remamute should be able to get a 1v1 here. You can't get close enough to wound him, so... I think we just ride on him? Like, we're probably okay. Remamute himself is a powerful mage, and we have all the ranged weaponry nonsense that makes our army generally good. Plus 14 food. Let's catch these dudes in march mode here on this bridge. Okay, we can take that auto-resolve. That's totally fine. That's a pretty significant replenishment, which is good, because we took way more damage than I was expecting. And then we have to decide how we want to move Remamute forward. I'm inclined to fall back around past Wissenberg to defend, rather than running straight through Border Prince's territory. And not so much because I'm worried about annoying the Border Princes. I really don't care what they think of us. But I do want to maintain replenishment as we move. So Faldorf is upgrading. We have proper defensive structures around here. Nuln could be boosted. That's worth doing. And then let's also create a garrison structure here. Here we probably, as much as I love growth, we probably just want to get back on public order, right? Because things are screwed up, and we really want to be able to move away from Marienburg. Obviously, things look worse than they are here. Oh, do I want to... I probably want to start upgrading Arnau first, actually. And we may as well do that. Yeah, I'd really like to not have to have an army come back here. So we'll have to find time to kill these elves off. That probably happens after we reclaim this stuff, right? I don't want to push past them and then have them turn on us while we're moving in the other direction. And time for another Doom Wheel upgrade. We still don't need more Doom Rockets. We're fine on that. Let's get... We only have one Doom Wheel in the army right now, but we'll get some more Doom Wheels. Maybe. I don't know, man. All of these are going to be kind of marginal. I suppose Warpstone Dynamos are pretty good. The whole thing you want from Doom Wheels is for them to go quickly. Let's take Micro Warp Batteries. So we've earned ourselves a Thing Zapper. I don't know exactly who's going to be able to use a Thing Zapper. It might be... It's not what I want. Okay. This double-handed polearm is more of a torture device than a weapon. Alright, we'll give it to you. You can have the weird thing. Hadar's probably not going to be... Or not Hadar. Hadar's engineer is probably not going to be needed to do a ton of melee work, because in Hadar's army, Hadar is our anti-character character. But maybe he and the Warlock engineer can tend to just stay close together, and they can like double team enemy lords to bring them down even quicker. I'm kind of curious what the effect of contaminating attacks is. The icon that it uses is the same as the icon for Scorched, I believe. So my guess is it's going to be like minus armor or minus leadership or both. Something like that, probably. All good stuff. All things that I'd be happy to be able to put on enemy characters. So what does Volkmar do? Okay, Volkmar rides back to Weismund. That's an interesting move on his part. I guess he thinks he's going to be able to stop me from taking that settlement, which is not the case. We might even actually be able to get both of our armies in that area on him. Because the army that just wiped out the raiding Reichlanders may be able to march mode far enough to serve as reinforcements. I could probably have, like... I maybe should have manualed that. I bet we could have gotten at least one of the other siege units there. That was me clicking too fast. A real ready fire aim situation. Also, this thing is still potentially happening, but, like, who knows how long it's going to take them to actually ride on us. And as you've seen from, like, the Lothern thing, it is not necessarily the case that an enemy AI will ever attack you. After a declaration of war, it's not as much of a declaration of intent as you might think. Yeah, the Chaos Warriors are dead, and the Warherd of Chaos is dead, though. That's a shame. This would be a really, really good time for some Chaos units to push hard on the northeastern part of Reichland. Speaking of which, we should probably go have a look at the northeastern part of Reichland. Because I bet it's a real mess up there. That's a shame. Kill this guy to get an earthing rod. Nah. We may end up killing that guy, just sort of accidentally. I'm certainly not going to go out of my way for an earthing rod, though. Okay, I mean, this is encouraging. I do wish that the our Norskin allies would, like, fill some of this stuff in. Okay. Do you have the range? Probably not. Looking at the distance here, yeah. Okay, Vomik can go and claim himself a settlement pretty easily. And we're not going to be able to get Hadar's army into position to reinforce this. Okay, you get that. We've spent a lot of time preparing for, like, this moment in our fight against Reichland, but, like, this is when everything is now collapsed on them, right? They have no chance of stopping us from pushing back, and as long as we don't have a bunch of, like, elves come out of nowhere and ruin everything on our western front, we should be able to just push through until they are dead at this point. We have a dwarf problem, but I think the dwarf problem is largely under control. Oh, this army's interesting. We had not been able to see his full stack until this point, right? Why don't you try to remove that wizard? Volkmar himself has some magic, but he's not like a wizard. He doesn't interact with the winds of magic, I don't believe. He functions more like a dwarf rune lord, where his spells just have cooldowns. Well, with that being the case, I'm a little bummed out about the failure to get an assault off there, actually. Just looking around, wondering what I'm going to do with Infectique. They've defended Wolfenburg well, try to keep us out of the gold mine. We could go to the Brass Keep pretty easily. Ooh, Ehrengrad has a proper... Wow, look at that. Sack value 15k. Yeah, Ehrengrad has a proper port, like a valuable port. It would be awfully nice to hold. I'm getting ahead of myself. That's several moves from now. So the question basically is, do we try to do some, like, shenanigans with Ikit ambushing this guy, or do we just go right at him right now? And I think the answer is, why fight fair when you could fight dirty?
I will not.
He can ride out and catch Hadar. That's interesting. So the answer might be Ikit Claw moves to, like, here, goes into ambush mode, and we try to catch him moving out to attack Hadar. I bet this works. Here we're in deep forest, so we should have a nice high chance to remain hidden. Okay. Remamute makes it as far as Grunberg this turn if he really wants to. But I think, obviously, I would rather the enemy not be working with the information that I am here. So let's stop, like, around there, go into ambush mode. What I want is for Ungrim Iron Fist to roll up to the walls of Grunberg, start setting up the siege towers, and then we hit him. Which I bet is something we can make happen. I think we're probably well in line for that. Okay, so... Is that all of our lords and everything? Infectique needs a plan. He's probably not necessary over here, but I guess we could move him to Middenstag. Just to cover all of our bases with Volkmar. Move to right here in the trees and go into ambush mode. Try to catch Volkmar. Going for our weak spot. Can he even reach that? No, he cannot. Okay, so that's probably not going to happen, but I still think it's a reasonable move.
Enemies in sight.
And we're back up to 6k per turn. You know, honestly, we could probably employ another assassin or two. We could have more scouts out. We wanted to take care of the dwarf problem a little bit. Because we have a lot of money right now. We have enough money right now, and we've been doing a good enough job upgrading our stuff that I think it's reasonable to just go ahead. Blackstone Post really, really wants these upgrades. Start pouring that money into all of those. We go from 20 ingots to 30. It feels like upgrading the trade buildings is almost not worth it. And by almost not worth it, I mean definitely not worth it. Go ahead and get this going, though. Then we can install a capacitor there, and, you know, we can install capacitors in a lot of places. Alright, I think we're ready to go. It's possible Ungram Iron Fist will just stop for a turn and settle Kemperbad. If he does that, we absolutely pounce on him, as a bunch of the men from his army will have left to settle the city. Oh yeah, man, I really, really don't want to confederate these guys right now. They are having some problems. That is a man whose name contains the phrase "the White Lion" on the back of a dragon. Lions and dragons. It's irresponsible, I tell you. Aha! Okay, we are not given quite the odds I think we deserve on this. This should be a very easy victory, though. Like, a lot of the power of this army is in these things that we'll never get to actually act.
Which kill device?
It looks like we read his play exactly correctly. He's just as excited to catch an enemy army out in march mode as I am. I do wish we'd killed the wizard, though. It's fine. So Volkmar himself is dangerous, and he has those like rune-type spells, but aside from that, there's not really that much going on here. They have a unit of demigryphs that's going to get shredded very, very quickly at the beginning of the battle. And siege weapons that will never get to fire a shot. We will not be able to just kill the Luminarchs right away. They're, like, big and tanky, but they also won't be able to do any damage to us. So, feeling pretty good about our position here. Where do we want to put the Warp Lightning Cannon? I guess it could just be, like, over here somewhere. Put them, like, right on the side of the hills so that the trees aren't blocking anything. Yeah, that gives us the whole enemy army. Catapults can go a little further back here, just in case. I don't obviously think there's any chance we're going to lose control of this, but you know. Do your best to expect the unexpected, even if that is a thing that's actually, you know, by formulation, impossible. Remember, this apparent gap in their army is where the archers are. They have those stealth archers. Shouldn't be a problem. We have a unit of Clanrat spears that doesn't even have any shields, because that's how old some of the stuff in this army is. We could stand to update them a little bit, I think. Probably don't actually want the Rattling guns to be in the same place as the Jezzails. We can put the Jezzails, like, way back. Although, maybe I don't actually want to. Maybe I do want them just, like, right here. Move them forward a little bit. Yeah, because we wanted to be able to fire down the line at the enemy characters. I definitely placed people too far back in that last battle, and I'm trying to learn my lesson here. Okay, we certainly want the Eshin Triads back in this area. And then, who does that leave unaccounted? Oh, just these dudes. Okay. You know what it is. We're going to do this thing again. So we're definitely not starting this battle with a use of the wand. I probably just want to... I'm going to let that brass orb go off, and then we're going to fire a Crack's Call sort of down the line of the army. In, and in. I mean, the Demigryph Knights are not going to be around long enough for the spears to actually hit them, probably. But we should at least go for it. Alright, you guys go after the larges. Well, no, we should probably devote them to making sure the rocket batteries and stuff actually die first. Yes, you guys just do stuff. As ever, there is no escape. All of the guns work the demigriffs first. Hey, but these guys can just do whatever. Just shoot something. Okay, let's do it. Let's have a battle. Yeah, look at those demigriffs are getting just completely destroyed. Honestly, I'm just gonna run in here and start hacking at stuff. I don't really know what else we could what we could do that would be more effective than that. Okay, there go those guys. We might at this point want to direct the attention of the catapults toward the massed up melee troops up here. Gonna do a quick charge on those guys and break them down, and then okay, the gunners make short work of the Luminarchs. Then we can have these guys charge back here and start hitting other stuff. Okay, my troops are too effective, it turns out. Enemies are dying really, really fast in a lot of places. This looks like a fine place for some... Wait, it didn't... Oh, right, because I can't afford the Overcast. Overcast is 9. That's fine. We'll give it a second. Actually, there's nothing in the reserve pool. We're not going to get to... Oh, no, there's 2 points in there. You guys, generally speaking, get in there. Go fight. I'm going to turn melee mode off here. You know what? I think it's better to have him just... Oh boy, we're really mixed in with him, though. At this point, I'm a little worried about attempting to shoot Warp Lightning at these guys. Alright, a lot of really great work being done by a lot of our units here. We don't really need to use these rats to catch any units that have run out and are coming back in, so I guess we can just add them directly to the melee. It's going to be a little bit of friendly fire here. Actually, never mind. Those guys are under control. Let's shoot some storm demons at these guys. I mean, I'm expecting... There we go. See, I'm expecting we're going to see some surrenders any minute now, because this has gone terribly for them. We do need to replace the clan rats in his army, though. Because he doesn't have any special buffs for clan rats, right? These could be storm vermin, and they would just be better at the job. So that's an embarrassing loss for him. Also, it's remarkable how little XP some of these units have, given how long they've been on the map. I can't remember the last time we recruited Inikit's army. It's been some time, right? I mean, like, I know his units don't fight all that much. He spent a lot of time running, but still, these should be gold rank by now. Alright, do we want the replenishment on this one?
Sate the black hunger, minions.
Yeah, I guess so. These units are not going to get back to full this turn if I don't take it. Alright, but that army's shattered and he has no way of getting to safety. So what we've really done here with Reichland is we've concentrated our front into pretty much one location. Obviously, he fell for my brilliant ploy here. I can't believe he went to Nuln instead of Grunberg. This was actually not really the plan. I think I'm just gonna... No, we should fight this manually.
Fight! Kill! Death frenzy!
Should we, though? Like, I'm about to be able to just sit down in Nuln and replenish. No, we'll just take the auto-resolve. I was figuring most of the damage would be distributed across the garrison. We lost a unit of Clan Rat Spears. Oh, well. Oh, but it turns out Thorgrim Grudgebearer was still here. I thought he had moved north. I was remembering him as having moved north. Well, you know, we probably ought to. Thinking like, what are we actually going to lose? I hate the way the food is displayed. Like, it shows -1, but it doesn't actually mean -1 at the end of the turn. It's adding in all of the food from the captives, but we've already received that food, right? Like, we're not going to get 39 food at the beginning of the turn. We already received that 39 food. It shouldn't be in this display. So we're actually, at the beginning of our turn, going to lose 40 food. So there's no reason not to roll all of this into Menace Below charges. Let's go ahead and do this thing one more time. We're going to break this army down because Remamute has to be able to come down here and fight them. This should be, though, with Ungrim down and Thorgrim down shortly, you know, after, on our next turn, Remamute might be able to kill him or might not, but it will certainly be no later than the turn after that. That should be a brief cessation in hostilities from the dwarves. They will have run out a little bit. So, they've put siege crews over here and... Oh no, they're all over here. Okay. Well, the walls are all the towers are all manned. I guess there's nothing else we can really do. You guys are in a terrible, useless position. You could at least be operating a tower. And then over here, for some reason, we have towers that are not manned. And spears on the back of the wall, which doesn't help anybody. And yeah, the caster should be on this side. Okay, let's do this thing. So focus your hardest on siege crews. I don't care about anything else. If you can kill some flying units, kill some flying units. Yeah, everybody else just, like, shoot. Alright, we're gonna have a hard time dealing with the flying units. There's not really anything we can do about that. And our slingers are going to be functionally useless against them. Can I cast this far enough out here? Oof, no, I'd have to get a lot closer. You know what? I can just do that, though. They're not going to punish me for this. They don't even really, I think, know how to punish me for this. And if they run troops up to try to melee our guy, we'll just run him back through the gate. Try dropping this directly on top of an organ gun and see if we can break it. No, it's fine. Turns out basically lightning proof. Alright, stuff's gonna happen in the other parts of the battlefield, and we're just gonna ignore it, pretty much. This is the only thing we are here to do. Do we want to run him back through the gate, or do I... You know what, I think I maybe just want to run him out this way. I don't expect Thorgrim Grudgebearer will pursue him. Let's drop some on you. I mean, we can fast forward this. There's not much sense in paying a whole lot of attention to anything else that's going on anywhere on the battlefield. Because we have no ability to fight any of the dwarves that we're seeing here. Let's jump these guys. And our lord is faster than anything the dwarves are fielding, I'm pretty sure. So he can just run back and forth and avoid them. Oh, they're going to throw grenades at him, though. I did just run him right across that. Keep running. You have more orders. I know you're not done yet. Oh, they turned. Cowards. You know what? You're good enough at fighting. You can actually get in here and just kill some guys. Yeah, I'm hoping it will take them long enough to finish the rest of the battle that we can get all this done. Did it... Sorry, was that a no? Yeah, it's just telling me no, it's not going to summon them. It wanted to wait until the until these guys were close enough to the other group there so that they could get attacked. That was pretty weird, right? It's just like, nah, I don't want to summon guys there. Why would I summon guys there? Yeah, well, those rangers are actually going to make it very difficult for us to kill that particular crew. What a... Please? Okay. Turns out the magic word. It is actual magic. That was some pretty good cowardice on their part. They made the right move there. Ignore these guys. Just run right through. Ironbreakers are going to be hard to kill with a Warlock Engineer. Okay, I think we'll get that crew down. You can't warp lightning people who are in the air, unfortunately. So, come on, finish them off. All right, cool. They're actually dead. We might be able to get these ones. Okay, I think we've done reasonably well here. So that's 2 siege crews that are 100% dead, plus 1 that we ran off the map, I think? We might be able to get these guys too. Probably should be able to get these guys too. Oh, weird. The Giant Slayers decided they were not interested in fighting me for just a moment there. Then they regained their nerve. Come on, finish him off before you die. I don't know. We might have gotten him. So yeah, we might actually have removed all of the siege stuff from his army. Sure, we're trading an awful lot of Skaven bodies for a relatively small number of Dwarven bodies on the regular. But strategically, I think it makes a lot of sense. There's just so many Skaven. If we were hewing to the lore here at all, it would make even more sense, because this would be an okay strategy for just, like, actually depleting the number of dwarves in the world down to 0. Yeah, shoot, the cannon crew ran off while there was still enough of them to operate 1 cannon. Oh well, that's not too bad. So Remunite is clear to turn around and go fight him. I don't know exactly how much health we're going to have left. Him not taking Fildorf from us was also very helpful. And yeah, like, Bilefitch will, after he finishes recruiting, head over to where Remunite is and help play defense against the dwarves. I think that's the thing that makes the most sense now. And the 4 armies that are pushing back the Reichlanders, I think, can just kill the Reichlanders. We're actually on our way out of this mess. We've been basically in this place fighting for some kind of stability, a foothold, for, like, such a very, very long time. Who are these abominations? Sure. I will take a non-aggression pact from you. I don't know who you are or where you are, but I do love... They want 100 gold for a non-aggression pact. I have no idea where you are, but fine. You know what I don't need is more enemies right now. Okay. Vashnar's going to mess with Reichland for us. I'm fine with that. I'd be a little annoyed if he took Karlberg over, because obviously I want to own Karlberg, but it looks like he probably just sacked it. Alright, there are many, many enemy agents everywhere. We will handle them. Okay, so Volkmar.
Guide us, Hornet One.
Volkmar is completely doomed. And the way we want to do this is by attacking Weissmund, because he will not be able to not serve as reinforcements. We've seen that happen to our guys on a couple of occasions. So this will ensure that he shows up to the battle and gets murdered, properly murdered.
Slay no first.
Alright, you guys get in there and heal up. Also, you've never killed Volkmar before, so that's get that trait on you. That was a pretty big turn there for Hadar, actually, in terms of growing strength. Oh wait, hold on. We're level 10. This is the level when we can take the last point of increased mobility. That definitely has priority. Ikit can't quite make it to Karaberg. I don't think I'm going to have him do that. I think Ikit is pushing eastward. Hadar can get Karaberg and then catch up with us later. So, do we want to head toward the Lorelorn Forest now, or... What's the... We would access it by this road? Yes, I think so. I think that's the right thing to do. So let's have you... Well, hold on. Let's start with Ikitclaw. Ikitclaw is the one whose movement is going to be limiting here. So he should march all the way up to the edge of our territory. Make sure you're getting your replenishment on. And then, do these guys have armies? No, as of right now, they are just nothing. I mean, this is... I'm assuming that they're like all the other Wood Elves, right? And that they can't hire outside of their main territory. But why don't they have an... They're still obviously in control of their main territory. Why don't they have an army? Well, whatever. So we'll just wait right here for a turn, and then we'll crush them at the beginning of next turn. We'll probably have to fight that battle. It'll probably be like an actual thing. Right, you have Draft Master. Let's get Quartermaster. Hell yes. Do I want to grab Lightning Strike real quick? Yeah, just in case. It could be the case that he ends up against 2 Dwarven armies, and, you know. Do I want to go to Fildorf, or do I want to stop in Wissenberg? Also... Oh, that's right. Those aren't the guys... I'm not waiting turns for those guys to be recoverable. Those are the guys that we have to actually finish researching a thing to unlock. So we're not going to be able to pull them. I guess I want to do a normal move to near Wissenberg and spend a turn recruiting while I'm walking here. And the dwarves will be able to see us. They will be able to just run over here and attack me if they want to attack me. And if they do, we'll just kill them. I'll fight those guys in the field. I'm not afraid of them. Alright, does it make more sense to underway? No, it makes more sense to march mode. Just kind of an awkward position is all. Okay, so he'll be over here in like 2 turns. It's not ideal. Side is, I guess, checking Middenheim. He's a little bit too far back to do anything really useful. I thought Cherry Flesh was further south. I guess we just don't have anybody on dwarf duty. I mean, I get it. Okay, remove a guy from that army, which might... Oh, yeah, Karl Franz's army is garbage. We absolutely roll over there and crush them. We can grab him a level up real quick. This is completely trivial. Let's just let that auto-resolve happen. Wow, how would that occur? I do think it's a little bit funny that killing Karl Franz makes you makes you cause terror against Empire armies. Because at this point, so many Skaven have killed Karl Franz that they should just be used to it, right? Well, that doesn't mean anything. As we all know, anyone could kill Karl Franz. Alright, did we actually move anybody? I'm paranoid now that we're going to accidentally leave somebody in ambush mode for a turn. He moved. Yeah, we're good. Let's... I guess we could do this. It doesn't feel terribly useful. It's a lot of money for very little benefit. If we were to actually end up in a serious war against the elves, Couronne could be useful in that it's a large settlement that's on that shore. But honestly, we're probably better off upgrading like Lyonesse and stuff. Places where we can improve some docks. Yeah, let's do that. And then we don't need to improve the bell here or anything. We don't really need growth, but these things are generating enough money that they should stick around. I guess we could just do this too. Oh, sorry, hold on. I have to look at the forest while we still have some money. How are we doing on the forest? We're positive public order. Okay, so even though we still have that commandment running, which is part of where this public order is coming from, we're actually just holding. Things have solidified. It's like, that's very important, though. We got to make sure that we are upgrading these buildings the very instant we can, because it takes them so long to run the upgrades. Alright, so 2 turns, 4 turns, 6 turns. We have a lot of upgrades coming. And then, yes, this absolutely should happen. Okay, I'm, like, very happy with the position we're in right now. Here in Weissman, we can just trash that rather than rebuilding it. Fildorf. I'll worry about repairing Fildorf when I'm confident it's not going to get just taken over by dwarves immediately. Probably going to be a rebellion at Middenstag, maybe at Weissman. Either way, Hadar's in position to handle it. Yeah, man, like, I just feel really, really good about where we're at right now. So this'll be the moment that, like, Lothern sends 12 armies to our shores or something. Right? Every time it seemed like we were about to get stable, we were about to be in a position where we could really start messing people up, something terrible has happened. I can feel the shoe about to drop. The shoe of Damocles, suspended by a shoelace above our head. A narrow shoelace, and getting narrower all the time. Oh no, Cheery Flesh! Well, someday he'll get to level up to 20. Gonna do it a single assassination at a time. An embarrassing critical failure from the ghost. I'm not even sure how a ghost wounds himself attempting to attack our units. Like, what are the physics of that? What exactly occurred? Whatever. Remy Proudbeard. Okay, that's a dwarven army that we might have to have somebody else deal with. God, I wish we could just... I wish that the dwarves would realize that they're just getting embarrassed over and over again and decide to take a peace treaty. Even just a temporary peace treaty. We could get so much work done. Oh, we are at war with Kislev. That's true. It's never been relevant before, but it looks like it's about to be. The Kislevites don't have anything better to do? I guess chaos has not really been a problem. Not for them, anyway. Okay, Vashnar's just gonna... Okay, he's taking Karlberg from us. Annoying, but we'll live with it. If that gives him a forward base from which to, Oh, wow, they attacked immediately. Well, it would be better for us if this attack failed. But I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, like, even with Menace Below charges, I don't see it happening. It used to be the case that rebel armies couldn't attack the turn they spawned. At some point they changed that, and they really shouldn't have. Okay, lots and lots and lots of notifications, as always. They are starting to spawn an army. Here's what's happening. They've been fighting the Norskins. Which means that the Norskins are at war with them, right? Yes, it does. Hey, buddy. What would you think about me saving you from these terrifying elves? What would you do? Likelihood of success only moderate. So I'm probably not going to be able to weasel any money out of them on this. We're going to try, though. Okay, likelihood of success low. Yeah, they're not going to buy me into the war. It's always worth checking when you're about to declare on somebody. If you know who else is at war with them, you know, give it a thought. I am not going to call my allies to help. Nobody needs to assist me with this. I think we've got it under control, probably. Okay, we can hit him this turn. Vomik or Ikit? It's probably Ikit as the lead. His army's not in perfect shape, though. What is in this garrison? So some tree can, a tree man. Yeah, it's very similar to the garrison of the tree in the middle of Athelloren. I guess we lead with Vomik because Vomik's army is in better shape. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Alright, go forth.
They bleed. Die.
I have to say, I'm very pleased with the contributions of some of our allies lately. The Norskins have really been pulling their weight.
Contract.
Okay, looks like we don't have to fight this manually after all. You take any meaningful damage there? No, not really.
Greedy.
Okay, so Lorelorn Forest, the province unto itself, is ours, and we can just let the Norskins have Dietershafen as far as I'm concerned. Dietershafen, maybe? Maybe you don't. I don't know, whatever. And this is totally a normal settlement that we can build normal stuff in. Alright, well, let's do this thing. It's not quite as magic of a forest as the other one. Bilefitch is able to underway move up into the mountains this turn, and then down out of the mountains next turn, of course. Remamute is relatively healthy. So did we finish building recruitment buildings here? Not exactly. You gotta make sure that this stuff gets done. That needs to happen. What else does Karak Anghazar need? We don't really want to build another recruitment building. Oh, it needs this. Right, it has fields. The pasture symbol is camouflaged well in the forest. You know, like in that common English saying, can't see the pasture for the trees. So I think I'm going to move near Fildorf and go into ambush mode, maybe? Because that dwarven army's got to be at Steingart. Then again, our ambush is unlikely to work because the dwarves will just... the dwarven agents nearby will see through it. But honestly, I don't really care. Like, if they see through it and that dwarf army comes up here to fight us, we'll just kill them. You know? I'm fine with it.
Who killed?
Obside needs to... What does Obside need to do? What is his value here? I guess he just pushes east. Try to figure out what is safe for Infectique to do. But for right now, I think Infectique has to fall back and resettle Middenstag, which is a shame. That's not a good use of our time. I was not counting on the rebel army to attack immediately, because they shouldn't be able to do that.
All inferior wick to Mimi.
But alright, let's get this problem solved. Middenstag needs the upgrade worse. Oh, here we should probably do public order again. I'm just thinking, like, I really don't want to have armies around here. Then again, man, it takes such a long time to grow here. I'm going to turn off taxation. And we're just going to hope that we're able to get a bell up in time to make that place stable. Going to have a rebellion at Talapime, which is fine. That's not a real danger. Infectique leveled up at some point here, and he should probably grab... Oh no, he has Life is Sheep. He should probably grab Draftmaster. Okay. Now, when we have him finally do the recruiting he should do, it'll be a little bit more effective. Do we want him to just sit still for 2 turns? Probably not, right? I'm just going to fill his army with Skaven slaves. Because we could recruit some normal clan rats from the pool, but I think we'd be better off taking this turn's replenishment, moving to Hergig, and trying to, like, you know, I want to keep moving forward. We want to solidify Hergig if we can. Which we would do by... I guess we can't really build anything meaningful here. Just do that for the moment. Okay, that was a pretty fast turn. I guess it helps that we don't have a lot of living agents anymore. I'm gonna... No, I'm not. Never mind. I was gonna say I'm gonna hire a new assassin. We have 500 gold. That's not really on the table. If Carrick Buftar is going to be in taxation mode, I guess we need to make sure that we're buffing up these buildings. We need more money. We have a lot of places to spend money. We have really good income. It's not always visible because we have a lot of it's going out to pay for our armies immediately. But we actually have a lot of money coming in. I don't know what to do about the Kislevites. That's a problem for another moment. They're going to make it really awkward for us to finish off Reichland. Because as we get close, we're going to start coming into contact with the bulk of the Kislevite military force, I'm sure. It's going to be very inconvenient. But this is why we're showing up with 4 full stacks of rats. Did I forget to move Hidar on our turn? Maybe. I don't know. Alright. All this buffer territory that I thought we were taking over just to keep the Empire troops coming in very slowly is actually going to fall to dwarves, and that's a little inconvenient. I do not like fighting the dwarves so much. Although they're certainly not making very good decisions right now. That's super weird. There's a lot of very weird stuff going on over here. There must have been an army hanging out right next to that burned down settlement. Maybe some chaos guys. We could probably kill their mortar. And again, we're going to lose all of our food. We can easily kill their mortar. Let's go ahead and do that. We could run this battle on fast forward mode and just get this done really quickly. So the Kislev is just a Reichland faction. They have all the same units as Reichland armies do. They will not be a huge problem for us. And at some point another Chaos Wave might spawn. The Chaos guys are not actually defeated. So if that happens, while Kislev is harassing me with all of their units instead of doing defensive type stuff, they could potentially get like totally murdered. Which would obviously be pretty good for us. We don't need them dead. It would be fine for me if they would just like leave us alone. Sorry. Like this thing. And you guys do like this thing. Okay. Where's that cannon crew? Over here. Okay. This is a weird thing. This is not what I was expecting to happen. Them just neglecting to attack with most of their army. We do have 3 Doom Rockets, right? I mean, not that I necessarily think these guys are a huge threat to us, but they are offering pretty easy kill here. We'll have 2 Doom Rockets left after this and enough food. As we don't have a lot of warp fuel on hand, so it'll take a while to build the next one, but you know what? I think I'm just going to do this. Slight change of plans here. There you go. That's what your cowardice has wrought. Weird how they're not using this as an opportunity to like run at us. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to attack their Outriders in any way, probably. Here's what I'm going to try to do. We'll see if we can catch a unit of them here. If we run at the Outriders, they just run away from us, and they're faster than we are. We are exactly the kind of unit that a bunch of guys with pistols on horseback are supposed to be good against. We don't really have a solution for this problem in this army. Except for this. There we go, that's working. Well, it really takes a long time for them to be ready to throw a second volley. Yeah, okay. That's doing something. And then you guys can just, I don't know, shoot at enemies. I'm trying to maximize damage here in a way that's very unlikely to matter. Yeah, we got done the thing that we were really trying to get done. I guess we can just fast forward mode this until it is over. Try to focus on the enemy ranged units. We can probably finish off these guys. We can get the great swords to not be all the way inside of them. Here, we'll do this for the moment. Kill those dudes. We have them on skirmish modes. They'll do their best to keep themselves safe. All of our units over there have orders and are doing things. Boy, we did not get a lot of damage out of that summon. Alright, just trying to remove entire units from this army. Doing our best. Nope, never mind. They changed their minds. They are not, in fact, down to fight. Turn around and fight those guys. Yeah, they were smart. They were unusually smart for AI in keeping all their units together and abusing their missile cavalry, which are actually like super good against us. We are not going to be able to kill the last 3 handguns in that unit. Yeah, I bet those guys are actually going to survive. That's a shame. We hit him with a doom rocket. You would think that would have wiped him out. But the mortar crew's dead. That's the thing that mattered the most. God, those knights really performed. These armies are terrible against units. Just like guys in general. Okay, now we did remove the other 2 units that we hit with the Doom Rocket. That's cool. Okay, you guys want to mill it? No. What? No. Absolutely not. Why would I ever? Where do they even have land? Apparently the Doom Seekers have been doing quite well over there. A little surprised by that. Alright, yeah, like I said, Vashnar now has a forward base. That's okay. If that gives him a place where he can feel safe attacking from, that's probably a net positive for us, even though it prevents us from owning that whole province. I don't want that piece of loot very badly. We'll go ahead and take all that stuff. Alright, and I think this is where we're going to call it for today. I know this episode was a little bit longer. So, Krugenheim, huh? We don't have to own these territories to win, but we do have to have them heavily corrupted. So we're doing very, very well on our Skaven corruption objective. Jufbar, over here in the mountains. Blood River Valley, way down there. I can't believe that this area isn't already 50% Skaven corruption, with Clan Moors being here and everything. That's wild. And then Eastern and Western Sylvania, right here, have to be heavily corrupted. How are they doing right now? 0%, it turns out. So we probably do actually end up having to own this stuff in order to leak enough corruption out to Jufbar. So, alright, that's a concern. At some point we will kill the Border Princes, but, for right now I'm happy not to have to deal with them. Pirates of Sartosa, we could kill at a moment's notice. We're working on Reichland. Corone is going to be a little bit more of a world-spanning endeavor, but they're not a problem for right now, and that's, really the best we can do there. And of the 17 of this list, from which we must control 17 settlements, we have 5. We're not even super close to having any of the others. I mean, Castle Drakenhof is right here, and we're just talking about how we have to own that. Kislev and Hellpit are pretty close to each other up here in the corner, and it looks like we're going to have to fight the Kislevites anyway, so we may as well grab those. And then, yeah, I don't know. From there, I don't know exactly what we'll do. Lothern and Gaian Vale are both on this island, so we could try some shenanigans with our Undercity to maybe make that happen. Yeah, I don't know. We have a great big land war in the old world to complete. Once that's done, I guess we can start looking at all of these other problems. But that is going to have to be the end of the action for the moment. Thank you all so much for watching. I still think we're doing really well. I'm a little surprised by how far north the dwarves are ranging and how far west the Kislevites are ranging, but I think we have things well in hand. So come back next time, Monday, for maybe the end of the Empire? Maybe. That might be overreaching. And we'll see you then.